I assume by now everybody is familiar with all the craziness that's been going on with Twitch because we've gone through some eras. And I'll be honest with you, it's been kind of interesting to follow and watch. But it all started with girls just kind of doing the whole, like, let me just let me write your name on the board. Like that's how it started. Shout out to Ninja for making the nice little meme about it. And from there it kind of grew. It became girls turning around and doing squats every time you subscribed or you donated money, and that went on for a little while. And then the hot tub meta came around where girls were like, "Well, wait, we can wear bikinis and stuff because we're going in the hot tub or we're on the beach or you know what I'm saying? Like we're doing something that allows us to wear this outfit because it's appropriate for what we're doing at the time, and then we can kind of do the squat thing and bring it to the next level." And so that went on for a little while, and it's still going on for the most part. And now we have the madness era, where girls are literally, at least it seems like, naked. I mean, they're topless for sure, and they're just showing the camera from the top of the titties up, so you can't see the nipple, but they can sit there and clap and dance and jiggle and do all these crazy things, and it's kind of wild. It's not something that I ever saw Twitch becoming, but I guess like take advantage of what you could take advantage of. And amidst all that controversy, there's a couple of people that have been banned for it. One of them being the girl that I think people are saying started it. This Asian streamer who, listen, that woman is built. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but she got banned and somebody else got banned. And I actually thought that that was gonna be the end of it. But then Twitch just came out and said that they're changing their TOS when it comes to nudity, and they're going to allow artistic nudity. And I don't know, there's some more stuff that goes into it. We're gonna switch over and read a little bit of it together. But just to give my opinion on all of it, I don't really know how I feel. Do I feel like it's the best place to have all that on Twitch when you know that there's a younger age audience on there? I mean, I don't really, but at the same time, there is also an older audience. And as much as people think that that is like the majority of Twitch, it's really not. It's a very small percentage of viewers that are watching stuff like that. And at the end of the day, I do kind of back the thought process of, if you have a kid, you should be aware of what they're doing if they're online. You should be aware of what they're watching, and you should monitor it, to an extent. And so it shouldn't really be an issue. I mean, if somebody has a 12-year-old kid and they're watching one of these girls and they're able to donate or do some crazy stuff like that, I feel like you're failing a little bit on the parent side of things. That's just my own personal opinion. But again, at the same time, I can understand the argument of it just shouldn't even be there to be accessible, because you want your kid to be able to go on there and watch games and stuff. But then you see that and you're like, well, you can't go on there, or I've got to watch you every time you're on there and spend all of my time while you're spending your time. I get where it gets a little bit messy and stuff like that, but I don't know. It's a hit or miss thing. I really don't know where I stand on it necessarily, but regardless, they've decided to update their TOS. And from the little bit I've seen, you can pole dance and twerk and all that stuff now with no labels. You can show artistic nudity. I don't know what that means. Like, if someone was painting a nude body, can they just be completely naked on screen now? That's what I'm curious about, because if so, this is going to be the craziest of all the eras. This is literally going to be the OnlyFans era. All of the OnlyFans girls are going to be here. There's already a good portion of them, but they're all going to be there because they know that this is going to be a market of men that they can then transfer over to their OnlyFans. And it's just kind of crazy that that's kind of what Twitch has become for a lot of girls, is like the funnel. I don't know that you can actually put your OnlyFans link right on Twitch, but you can link your Twitter, which then has a bunch of your nudes anyway, which is trying to, sell your OnlyFans, and then your OnlyFans link from there. And as much as it is hard for anybody who's been a content creator, it's not always easy to get someone to click a link, go to some other social media or some other place, and then click another link to go somewhere where they're going to pay you money or buy something. It's not always easy to translate people like that. But when you're a girl and you got some titties, as men, we got a lot of goofy people in the ranks, and they're more than willing to do that. They'll jump through 20 hoops if it means that I get to see the titties of this girl that I have on screen right now that I really want to see. And it's wild because, like, you could just go to the hub. You know what I'm saying? But for some people, it's like, I want this very specific person. And if it's not her, I'm not as interested. So I'm willing to watch her here. I'm willing to jump on the OnlyFans and pay $5-10 or however much that they're charging. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit odd. And honestly, the hub thing is also another reason why I'm not sure how I feel about girls doing this on Twitch, because in all reality, as much as your kid can go to twitch.tv and see some stuff like that, which again, I don't know now if they could do full nudity or if it's still just going to be the titty bouncing where you can't really see much, or You know, just girls who literally lay facing away from the camera with their cheeks just right in the middle of it, and they're reading their phone as chat, and just, which is madness. There's a lot of madness going on. But that same kid can also just go right to the hub. It's not like there's any restriction stopping him from just saying, yes, I'm 18. Let me watch. And then he's got all sorts of people just getting their cheeks clapped on there. So, you know, if you're not monitoring it as a parent, it's inevitably going to still kind of happen. You know what I mean? But anyways, let's dive into the new TOS update and see what they actually have decided to do. So I'm not going to read everything, but let's just read their introduction. We have received consistent feedback from streamers that our current policies around sexual content are confusing and that it can be difficult to know how their content will be interpreted based on these policies. We want streamers to feel confident they understand our rules and viewers to feel confident they will get the experience they expect. To accomplish this, we are making 2 changes effective today: streamlining our policies regarding sexual content and updating the criteria used for homepage recommendations. Okay, so let's just kind of get to the meat of it here. Let's see what's actually going on. All right, so it looks like there was just a lot of words right up until you got to the frequently asked questions, where it starts to break down exactly how this is going to work. So it says some types of content that were prohibited will now be allowed on Twitch if appropriately labeled. And these changes include content that deliberately highlighted breasts, buttocks, or pelvic region, even when fully clothed. Streamers found it difficult to determine what was prohibited and what was allowed, and often evaluating whether or not a stream violated this portion of the policy was subjective. Extremely objective, because some people would get got, other people wouldn't, and they'd be doing worse things. It was kind of all over the place. So apparently now you can just label it, and it's okay if you're showing the cheeks. Like, you could do what you got to do. So, all right, fair enough. Fictionalized, drawn, animated, or sculpted, fully exposed female presenting breasts and or genitals or buttocks, regardless of gender. There's a thriving artist community on Twitch, and this policy was overly punitive and did not reflect the impact of the content. So, drawn, animated, sculpted, does this mean that if I play a game that has nudity, it's okay as long as I label it properly? Because I'm pretty sure Baldur's Gate 3 has the option for nudity, but I turned it off because I want to get myself banned. But apparently now I could just show it all because it's animated and it's art, right? So I just got to throw a little label on it. Interesting. I almost feel like I'm still going to get myself banned if I do that, but we'll see. Maybe we'll give it a shot. And then it goes on to say body writing on female presenting breasts and or buttocks, regardless of gender. The Twitch attire policy already allows body art on breasts and buttocks, so this change makes these policies consistent. Erotic dances that involve disrobing or disrobing gestures, such as strip teases. So you could do a strip tease on Twitch if you label it. What is actually happening? I mean, I get it, like, to an extent, but I'm like, I feel like we're changing the platform here. Like, this is madness. Okay, all right, well, whatever. Changes to popular dances. Popular dances such as twerking, grinding, and pole dancing are now allowed without a label. You ain't even got to let them know that you about to shake them. You just bring them in and just do what you do. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it. Okay, well, that's wild. So it does seem like if you're drawing somebody, artistic depictions of nudity allowed. Okay, it does say fictionalized though. So I don't think that an actual person can be naked on screen just because you're drawing them. You can be drawing a naked body on screen as far as, like, you know, in your app or whatever it is that you're doing, but you can't actually have a person there who's naked just because you're drawing. That's what I was worried about, is that it's gonna be like, listen, if this person is painting me, I can stand here completely nude in the back, but be on camera. That was going to be where it got a little bit crazy, but so that's not going to happen, I guess. But nudity in gaming. We handle nudity in games in 2 ways. First, games featuring nudity, pornography, sex, or sexual violence as a core focus or feature are entirely prohibited. Custom gameplay or visual modifications that include nudity or sex content, including uncensored patches and otherwise allowed games, are prohibited. Okay, so that means I can do Baldur's Gate 3 with the nudity. You just can't play like a straight up sex game where the whole point of the game is to, again, clap some cheeks, because that they don't want that. For games where nudity is not the core focus or feature, the mature rated games content classification label is sufficient for incidental nudity. However, the sexual themes label must be applied to gameplay that focuses on nudity. Wait. Okay, I'm because at first it said that anything that's featuring nudity, pornography, sex, or sexual violence are entirely prohibited. But second, for games where nudity is not the core focus or feature, but then it says, however, the sexual themes label must be applied to gameplay that focuses on nudity. So it's like, I feel like it's still confusing, right? In one way, they said that it's completely prohibited, but another way, they said that if it focuses on nudity, it just needs to be hit with a sexual theme label. Users may not engage in simulated sexual activity or erotic role play with other players in online games. So, okay, all right. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I may have broke that one myself before because we be having some fun and jokes and games and stuff like that. Like we were playing Lethal Company. Damn, bro, my man taking he's taking the whole finger. Yeah, fucking, I'm literally tearing up. This is amazing. Oh boy. You know, my finger's dirty. I'm gonna put it back in DK's mouth. Oh my god. I can't do this shit. I can't do this. This is what happens when you leave us alone. So it goes on to say the mature rated game label covers most content that occurs within the game itself. If the content is encountered as part of a regular gameplay, it's okay if it's violent, alcohol, gambling, sexual themes, you know, anything like that. However, if a streamer chooses to focus their stream on in-game content that features sexual themes, such as fictional nudity or overlays their gameplay with comments or topics that qualify, they should apply all relevant labels. So it seems like you could do quite a bit now as long as you label it. I'm still a little bit nervous that it's gonna still kind of be handled on a shaky basis. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like I still feel like some people are gonna get away with stuff and other people aren't. So we'll have to see how it plays out. But they literally did this because there was girls who were just shaking the titties. They were literally just shaking the titties and they got banned. And now they're like, you know what? We want to let the girls shake their titties. At least that's what it feels like to me. And I mean, like I said, it is what it is. As a parent, you should be, you know, watching what your kid watches anyway, making sure that it's nothing crazy, because if it's not going to be some girls shaking their titties on Twitch, they're going to be on the hub and they're going to be seeing a lot more crazy stuff on there than they're going to see on Twitch. So, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, as men, it's kind of our fault because we're the ones that are going on there and watching these women and paying them and giving them incentive to sexualize themselves and to do some crazy things on there. And if I'm being honest, I don't think that's ever going to change. It's just not. That's why you see OnlyFans girls going crazy and blowing up. Amaranth just came out on Twitter and said that she made like $500,000 a month when she was doing OnlyFans. That's an insane amount of money. I would love to make $500,000 one time in like 5 years, please. She made it in a month. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. If I was a girl, I'd be shaking titties, ass. I'd be doing all the things. All the things. But just wanted to talk about that, do a little recap of some of the stuff that I came across. I got to start uploading more often on this channel again. I appreciate you guys. Take it easy.